Hello, parasite enthusiasts. Welcome back for our last part of the three-part series with Izzy here. Izzy, are you ready?
Yeah, hey guys, I'm ready. I'm actually kind of sad that this is ending, but let's get on with it. Let's do it.
Yeah. So today we'll be might be sparking a little bit of controversy with and maybe a little bit of arguing too, but it's always fun. But first we'll talk briefly about these treatments that we were talking about, like in their use for their success.
Yeah, and then we kind of went over it last podcast. As you guys know, there's a ton of treatments today for people when it comes to dealing with parasites and infections that we all got to deal with. And with the use of these treatments against parasites, the success of using like targeted treatment towards specific parasitic infections has got to be the most effective way to go about it, compared to letting your body handle it pretty much. Because we are us as humans, we got limits when it comes to that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And having a planned attack with these treatments is definitely the best way to boost your immune system, help yourself get better quickly. But it's never a perfect solution to the problem. I guess that's a good way to put it.
Huh. What do you mean by that, Izzy?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. And I guess sometimes it depends on the infection as well as if you should take these treatments. You should always talk about or talk to your doctor, your medical professional
Always.
about these kind of things. And in addition, there might be cases where a parasite can actually develop resistances to the treatments that you're giving to it, and it might start running rampant.
Yeah, I'm so glad you actually brought this up, which is why I kind of have some research I wanted to share with
All
you.
right.
There's a time towards like the end of the 20th century in Africa where the disease of trypanosomiasis that had developed resistance to the current treatment that was being used and started spreading infection again, like really ramping around,
Okay.
getting high infection rates and all this. And all seemed like it was kind of out of hope. It was like, oh my goodness, the only treatment that we have is running out and it's not working anymore. But there
Yeah.
was development into another treatment from a group called Drugs for Neglected Disease Initiative against this disease. And when this treatment has been effective and much safer for the user to like go against this parasite.
Yeah, well, that's a nice story. It's always good to see new developments being successful in different ways because these infections are always changing up. We gotta change up ourselves, look at the lens a little differently, and if these parasites get the resistance to build up, then we need to do even more research, even more development.
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy that like this constant development in this race it continues even into treatments.
True.
But luckily, we should have plenty of time before that is necessary again. Now we'll kind of switch gears a little bit into discussing more about the ethics behind parasite conservation.
All right. Well, when it comes to ethics and parasites, ask the average person, would you want this parasite to exist? They're probably going to say no. Kind of makes me think about mosquitoes. A lot of people
Hmm.
say mosquitoes are big pests. They wish they didn't exist, but at the end of the day, they actually might be helpful. Just how we protect endangered species. We're talking elephants. We're talking tigers. We protect them from things like poaching or putting them in sanctuaries, things like that.
Yeah, no, it's just super weird to like think about like, do these parasites really need to be taken care of? It's like, how important are they really to nature's balance?
Yeah, and then believe it or not, they actually really do play an important role in the communities that they do inhabit, which is pretty much every single community they're out there. Um, because for every species on the planet, there's at least one parasite that goes along with it.
Dang, no, that's crazy. So it's like at that face value, it's difficult to really see how parasites can be useful in any way as they like infect these animals and disturb reproduction or even like cause these um, really bad side effects and harm to these and even can
Yeah.
lead to death for some of these animals. It all sounds kind of really bad news to me.
Yeah, there have been arguments for getting rid of parasites completely, eliminating kind of how we've eradicated a couple diseases here and there, and just because like the human nature of it, we care about our quality of life before we care about nature. We don't understand how eliminating this parasite actually might affect the environment more than it affects us directly.
Yeah, no, I know that the two really known eradications of a parasite was rinderpest in cows or cattle plague,
Yeah,
just kind of like for the economic side of it. And then there was smallpox, which was a really bad disease, kind of like chickenpox, but like a whole lot worse.
yeah.
But one of the roles that these parasites play in animal environments is just controlling these host populations, because sometimes there's so many factors to keep nature in balance, and parasites are also a part of that. Whereas if you didn't have these parasites coming in and having their effect on hosts, then these host population could run rampant and be really bad for the community. And they're not only the species' natural predators contributing to it, but parasites as well.
Yeah.
And for many animals, parasites are a common source of food. The oxpecker, for example, which is a bird that's found in Africa, feeds on these ticks that inhabit on larger animals in the plain, like rhinos and giraffes.
Yeah, and speaking of those oxpeckers, at face value, they kind of just look kind of annoying. The ticks that inhabit the giraffe and the rhinos, get these guys off of me, they're annoying. But for the oxpecker, these are actually a really good source of a nourishment for them, and they're a part of their food web.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even the oxpeckers do so much more than that. If they lose this source of nourishment, we don't know what's going to happen to them. They help control insect populations in their environments, keeping those down. And not only do they help, if I was a giraffe, thanks little bird, cleaning my fur or whatever. But they also are known to alert these larger mammals of threats. I'm a rhino. I'm a baby rhino chilling. Getting ticks eating off of me. This bird starts going crazy. I look in that direction. Boom, there's a lion, and I just get out of there.
Wow, that's crazy. So to think about it, that's just one parasite. And just this one interaction that ticks have with large mammals has an impact spread across the entire environment. It might be crazy to admit, but parasites play a vital role in every ecosystem.
And that's the hard truth, P. And unfortunately, I think that's going to just kind of get us to the end of our series here. And I'd love to be back on the show one day. It's been an honor.
Yes, you're always welcome to join the show whenever you want. It's been a pleasure. And for next week's show, I'll be taking viewer suggestions on what to cover. Make sure to fill out this QR code or the link in the description to enter the podcast to vote. And once again, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful week and stay safe out there, guys. And I'll see you next week on the Paracast.
See you guys whenever I come back. Goodbye.